Hi there, I'm Lisa Taylor. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Put a hashtag replay. Let me know where you're watching from. Self-knowledge. I want to peel back the layers just a little bit. Self-knowledge. So there's this sense that if we, hey Bridget, nice to see you. There's this sense that when we know ourselves, when we truly know who we are and we know our spiritual self, we do not feel defensive when things are coming at us. Self-knowledge. But what is mental self-knowledge? There's this wonderful quote that I really love and I've actually worked with quite a bit. Anatomy when conceived of spiritually is mental self-knowledge. I think that is so cool. That's Mary Baker Eddy. It's from Science and Health. Anatomy when conceived of spiritually is mental self-knowledge. So what is mental self-knowledge? It's basically discerning and dissecting the quality, quantity, and origin of our thoughts. Are they divine or human? And when there's another place she talks about the reversal of errors serve as waymarks to the divine mind or to the one mind. And when we are aware of our thoughts, when we are aware of the origin, quality, and quantity of our thoughts, we can utilize those as tools to lead us to a higher plane, a higher understanding of not only ourselves, but everything that we're experiencing. Because as we know, our experience stems from our thought. So if we're not minding our thinking, if we're not minding the anatomy of our mental state, anatomy when conceived of spiritually is mental self-knowledge. So mental self-knowledge is equivalently our anatomy, right? I was thinking about a commitment I made recently. I made this massive commitment, massive financial commitment, time commitment, and I started second guessing myself. A few days into it, I started thinking, oh my gosh, what have I done? And I started feeling very much like a victim. I felt like this is happening to me, and I was starting to feel that sense of out of control. I've felt this in the past with food, where I'm either and I did a video a long time ago about being addicted to food and kind of food addiction, because that's something that I'd struggled with and, at times still struggle with, where there are times when I'll feel sort of out of control with food, where I feel like it's running me. Like I feel like there's a desire there that's not just about hunger, that's about feeding emotions, and I know, you guys know what I'm talking about. But there's a place where you can get to where you feel like you're coming in on top of it, and you feel like you've got a sense of control about what's going on. And there are times where you feel like you're being run around by your thoughts. And that's where I would suggest and offer the idea that if we are conscious of the origin of our thoughts, are they divine or human, we have a much better opportunity to navigate through that, be aware of it, have that self-knowledge, that mental self-knowledge. Be aware of the quality of your thought. Be aware of the quantity of your thought. When you get on that sort of mental treadmill and you keep repeating something over and over again, it's that kind of obsessive thinking that the ego gets into. Be aware of the quality and the quantity and the origin of our thinking, mental self-knowledge. That in turn is our anatomy, because what we think of ourselves is what is manifested, not only in our experience, but as what we consider our body, this little spacesuit that we're carrying around. And I know that my experience with the whole motorcycle thing is a huge example of that, because, I never actually told you guys this. I was wearing white jeans that day, and that morning, and I don't tend to wear white jeans, but that morning I had this very strong thought to put on these white jeans, and I kind of argued, like, why would I want to wear white jeans? I ended up putting on the white jeans. That afternoon I had the motorcycle incident. As you know, because you've probably watched the video, I challenged the suggestions of pain and suffering through all of that. And what's really interesting, those jeans, there was not a mark on the white jeans. Not a mark. I mean, I scraped along the pavement. I had major time on that part of the in that experience. It's virtually impossible not to have a mark on white jeans. And what I came to realize is it reminded me of the Bible story, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, where not even the smell of fire was on them. They spent the whole night in the fiery furnace. They were bound in their coats and their hosen, and not even the smell of fire was on them. Not even a sense of the accident was on those white pants. There was not a mark on them. How is that even possible? Because my thought was not manifested on the pants. The pants have no thought attached to them. My thought was being challenged to pay attention to my body, and I was mentally being very self-aware of what my thinking was doing and discarding the suggestions that there was something wrong with my body. But it never even occurred to me to think about the pants. So there was no thought attached to the pants, therefore there was no manifestation on the pants. I just thought that was like, I don't know, that I'm still kind of pondering that, but that was pretty astounding to me. So I just think that's a really cool example of how thought is manifested, and we can control our thinking. We can examine it, be aware of it, have mental self-knowledge, and therefore control our experience. So that's the thought I wanted to share with you tonight. Anatomy, when conceived of spiritually, is mental self-knowledge, and consists, and this is, I'm going to give you the whole quote. Anatomy, when conceived of spiritually, is mental self-knowledge and consists in the dissection of thoughts to discover their quality, quantity, and origin. And then she goes on to say, are thoughts divine or human? That's from Science and Health. And then there's another place in Science and Health where she talks about, by reversal, errors serve as waymarks to the one mind. So as we become mentally self-aware, we have mental self-knowledge. There are so many things that we can learn from that process, and that we can grow in our understanding of ourselves, have our experience be different because our thoughts are manifested, change our thoughts if we're not liking the origin, the quantity, the quality of them. If they're human and they're being driven by the ego, we have the opportunity to say no to that. And we have the opportunity to turn our thoughts to, reverse the error thought and have it be a waymark to the one mind. So, I don't know. I hope that's helpful. If you like these ideas that I share with you, then you share with your friends or someone who you think might enjoy it. And always feel free to put comments below, because I love hearing what you think. And always feel free to be in touch. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. This is not going. Here we go. Okay, now I got the button.